Imagine society, our culture, all over the world, pushing women to be married. This is where your life begins. This is part of your destiny. You are supposed to be pushing out babies and serving a man. And then you get a husband like these three that I'm about to go over. So this one is titled Weaponized Moodiness. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, the whole walking on eggshells because of a man in the house. She says, I can't believe I just heard this term. It came up randomly in my YouTube feed and it captures my husband so perfectly. His bad moods absolutely dominate the house. So I scurry around doing everything in my power to keep him happy, lest his mood flips. Spoiler, it usually does anyway. It's so helpful to have a label. It makes me feel less crazy. This whole weaponized moodiness, women are going to have to stop trying to walk on eggshells to make these people happy, because I really do think that the patriarchy has jacked them up too, because they make it so that they give in to being married even though they don't really want to be married. They just want what comes along with being married, having a wife appliance, someone that does all of their day-to-day stuff so they can still have a comfortable life. I don't think that they really want to be married to women. Nitty Nat says, pro tip, just ignore his mood. I used to try to control my husband's moods. And then one day I thought, why am I letting his moods dictate the house? He would silently sulk and I would have to beg him to tell me what was wrong. Now I just ignore him and carry on about my day. I'm sure he feels like a kid sitting and sulking or storming around the house. All the while, the kids and I are laughing and talking, just getting on with our normal lives. It's so freeing to just ignore or gray rock weaponized moodiness. I used to be so fearful of my husband and his moods. Then I wondered, WTF was I scared of? His moods? F him. I don't react to my husband anymore. I smile politely and I have conversations like I would my work colleagues. The distance is wonderful. You see, these two people already, you can tell that they are going to blindside their husband soon with the divorce, because who can really live like this long term? The OP says that's the goal, but that's going to take some practice on my part. I've been catering to it for so long. It's going to be tough to unravel. Friendly Braze at the bottom says it is, as in it is going to be tough to unravel. She says, I've been you, walking on eggshells, dancing as fast as I can to give him enough pleasure to bust him out of his damned moods. Ladies, you are not his pleasure machines. You are not his happiness machines. You should not have to entertain a grown man. She continues with, that was then. Honestly, now when I can tell he's spoiling for a fight or being a dick to me, if I can, I take an edible and then I find his stuff funny and I can handle his mood in a lighthearted way or even sweetly mock him about it. Then he's like, why aren't you more upset? Etc., etc. Wow, that is a game changer. She says she took an edible and just laughs. All right, so Fluzine says, oh my God, I just saw the title of your post and knew exactly what you were talking about. My partner is exactly the same. I even talked to my kid about it because I don't want kiddo to think dad is grumpy because of him. No, dad is grumpy because it suits dad to be grumpy, and dad is not emotionally mature enough to work through his feelings to be happy. It has been so helpful because it has shown the spotlight on significant others' moodiness to the point where he will just say, I'm not grumpy. And I'll say, then are you just an a-hole then? Because you're acting like an a-hole, and it pulls him up. I can't say it works long term, but it makes us feel better to vocally recognize his behavior instead of trying to cater to it. That's another good one. All right, now moving on to this one. My husband said that he's not my slave. She says, so we have a 10-month-old, and I have been staying home with her the whole time without ever having a day to myself. I can't even take a nap on the weekends because it's too hard for my husband to watch the baby for 2 hours. I do 90% of the housework, I feel, and for some reason I have to ask him for help. But when I do, he becomes an a-hole child. I really don't understand the entitlement these men have. So tonight, after the baby cries all day and I cook him dinner, I got mad because I'm overwhelmed and he's an a-hole about anything related to chores. So I asked him to do the dishes, and he flipped out and said, "He's not my slave." So effing delusional and ironic. Okay, well, I'm the one who feels like a slave for almost a year, and you don't give an F. Effing a hole. I cook his mother effing dinner almost every night, and I do the dishes and take care of the baby while he passively watches her sometimes. He doesn't feed her, put clothes on her, brush her teeth, file her nails, or nothing. I have to effing ask him to do anything, not even change a diaper. Also, we never go out together. I get to watch him play video games all weekend. My life is hell. He works construction, so that means he doesn't have to help me. Y'all remember a few days ago, I did a post where a woman says she doesn't date blue collared workers? It's probably for stuff like this because they have a laborious job and then they feel like they can check out at home. They don't have to do anything. But like I said before, I've said this before. These people really don't want to be married. If they really wanted to be married, they wouldn't treat their wives like this. You are not a servant. And this woman is she's already fed up. If you are posting in this sub, you're already fed up. She's not going to take this very much longer. She hasn't been at work in almost a year, but once she gets back in the swing of things and puts the baby in daycare, she's going to leave this man. Great White Handkerchief says, put a single mattress in baby's room and that's where you sleep. Pile his dirty clothes and dishes in the master bedroom. Pile his wrappers and rubbish and work boots in the master bedroom. Only shop for and cook for you and the baby's food. Keep the rest of the house as clean as you like. F the man. He needs a come to Jesus talk. To be honest, this would be my deal breaker, but in the meantime, don't lift a finger for him. Sadish Panda says, came here to say the same. OP go on strike. Don't lift a finger for him. Just because he works all day at a paid job doesn't mean you staying home with your kid means you have to also do everything in the home. F him. Y'all, this is where we are. Reddit has created a community of women that are just tired and fed up. And this is the last one. My husband's 1 hour of parenting did him in. I looked after them for 12 hours. They're 2, 4, and 6. The older two were home from school because they had a fever yesterday, but they basically had normal energy today. I'm feeling really sick, but I looked after them all day. I went out for 1 hour. I get back and my husband immediately checks out, hops into bed, and tells my 4-year-old to ask mommy to clean him up after he pooped his pants. Pathetic. I don't marry my children. I'm sorry, I don't regret my children, but I do wish I had been lucky enough to marry someone who wanted to be a partner. I'm the doer. He's the dreamer. Dreamers are useless. If she's the doer, please do understand that this woman is going to also walk out on this man as soon as she can because she's already frustrated and building up resentment. These men do not understand that the tolerable level of permanent unhappiness, women are reaching that level. Women are not going to tolerate this much longer. Okay, Biscotti said, I'm sorry you're doing all the work. If it makes you feel any better, the kids notice. I have a 5-year-old who drew a picture of everything that I and my husband do. On my half, she showed me doing the dishes, cleaning, laundry, cooking, putting her to bed, and she also drew my favorite color, LOL. For my husband, she drew him sitting on the phone in the bathroom and taking a shower. I died. He wasn't amused. Well, I mean, she's telling the truth. Oh, okay. This is just a reminder. You are not a servant. You are not a wife appliance. You are not a man's happiness machine. You do not have to live your life like this at all. I know it's been programmed into us to be a wife and a mom, but you're more than a servant. And if a man cannot see you for your humanity, participate in the home, participate in raising y'all's children together, then you don't need to be with a person like that. And if after one child you see that this man is not going to participate in the lives of your children in your home, you need to stop having children with that person. Period. End of story. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.